Welcome to Biomimicry Ecotone episode 15. Usual co-host Hugo is actually on the hot seat today. Let me start with Nan, who is going to be my co-host today.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining.
I'm Hugo Araujo, and I'm Mexican-Colombian. I am a biomimicry professional with this guy, remember? And we're sharing.
Yes, that is the end of the forest. I remember. You essentially you go plant some nice fruits in the middle of a forest instead of cutting down any trees and planting monoculture fruits. For those who have never seen a turtle laying eggs, can you tell us what's going on there, Hugo?
Yeah, so they have this kind of dance, and it is in a rhythm that they can dig a hole on the beach and they can lay their eggs. So they lay about 150 eggs. So my intention today was to share more on the bioart and how art and cultural creation could actually shape what we are doing.
Whenever I talk to people about biomimicry, they ask me, what is this thing? Is it art? Is it science? Is it magic? What is biomimicry's link to art from your perspective?
And we have created an open museum on the walls, so like a graffiti intervention with the stencils. And we have chosen 9 different organisms and put it with the names in Mayan, in English, in the scientific name. So the kids and all the community relearning through the elders as well and through the local people about their own nature. And that triggers something really unique. Biomimicry led me to go to live into the wild kind of thing. It was a 3,000 fisherman town. What we did is with the stencils, we put in every house that wanted, and even some fathers with their grandchildren painting together. So we populated the whole town with the stencils of the sacred ceiba, of the coconut palm tree, saying that it was so resilient. And at some point, even the fishermen, they asked us to put our drawings there. I said, well, since I didn't have internet, I could just work with my hands and colors. With bioluminescence, I got so triggered by bioluminescence that the idea of creating light in the dark was so appealing. I addressed the beaver fishery because they have this decision-making process that is called quorum sensing. It is about information sharing, density population, and creating light as a community. So for me, that was a nice inspiration to get into the bioart part.
Do you have a sense of how much it impacted on the social cohesion of the community?
Yeah, you cannot have an exact number, but of course we have a sense because we did it with the primary and kindergarten schools as well. So the professors, they asked us to come and to paint with the kids on the walls. So in the school, the women, they were exchanging seeds and medicinal plants. So that was very beautiful. So I think the whole community was connected in such a different way that this is where I think is art, activism. There are so many things that you cannot define in one way. We invited artists from different places also to help us a little bit with that. And it is not about telling them, you are gonna die, the global warming is killing us, but it's more about the love of nature. And I think this is the power of art. We have a Dubravka that, so multifunctional networks, connections, bioluminescence, life, love, collaboration, and intuition, instinct, multisensorial experiences, intercultural, interspecies communication, interdisciplinary knowledge, interdependence. I also went with different indigenous communities just to understand how to transfer their knowledge, because we are paying attention to the science at the same time that traditional ecological knowledge doesn't seem to be so important. So how can art could bring both of them? The next step, I designed through the biomimicry thinking process a platform for accelerating knowledge transfer. And this is everything is connected and giving voice to local perspectives and trying to see how an ecosystem works. And this is this is an open creative source to put different content around nature. For the moment, we are getting from the planet, and the planet seems like it is losing in the way of extraction of energy. So we have a predatory relationship with the planet. When we talk about regeneration, then it should be more like, what is the way that we can add value to the planet so we don't kill it while we live here? I use these energy exchanges as a way like collaboration, commensalism, neutralism, amensalism, predation, and competition.
Visually, you are able to see it as if it's actually 2D, but it's a three-dimensional space relationship where multiple relationships can easily be mapped.
What is connected? And then we can understand the value in a different way, because if you cut this tree, then you might say right now as a business, you pay the people to cut it and the energy that is spent. If you put also the technology that could be developed out of this tree, then the price it gets higher. After connecting knowledge, I say, how can we create digital assets over a territory? So this is the kind of map that is on the top of El Cuyo. Putting all this together, create one layer of all of them at once, which is the all networks. So this is a way to connect our voice in a fractal way. So for example, if I come here, then I belong to all these communities, and you can see how you are starting to get connected. I was developing centric rings of the trees, functional ecology of the ecosystem, the health of the ecosystem, how is water, how is the soil, the air, the energy, if it's locally attuned and adaptive. What about the bioculture and the governance? And this gradient, so as you can see here, everything happens in gradients to go from degenerative to sustainable, to resilient, to regenerative. And then once that the system is working, our hope is to see that it will be abundant, so flourishing and thriving. So this is where I am in Costa Rica, using this kind of a schema to measure impact. But for financial people and for impact investors, I think this is very relevant.
Yeah, you heal the planet, you heal the people.